Yeah, hello again, everybody. I want to do a quick little video about a series of quests in Qeynos, very low level quests. I created a brand new rogue to run through this, just so we can kind of see percentage-wise how much experience you can get when you do it. There's actually 4 quests within this chain, and I'm just going to do 2 of them. The other 2 are quite involved as far as going to different zones and talking to people. Starts out here, and we are in South Qeynos. And we're going to go over here by the docks. There's first set of docks and second set of docks. And one of the things I did years and years ago with my first character was go around and hail everybody, the guards, everybody, anybody that moved, I would hail them. And this is one of them that I hailed. This is Guard Baron. And he asked, "What do you want? Are you friends with that lousy dwarf? You better not be unless you want to spend the rest of the week bleeding." So you click on that highlighted dwarf there. And he tells about how Trumpy, the dwarf, keeps bothering his brother Faren. And his brother Faren is a fisherman, and he's at the East Dock. And so here comes Trumpy Irontoe as we speak. And as he passed Guard Baron said, "Curse you, Trumpy." I'm going to get close to Guard Baron here and click on that highlighted. And he just repeats about how Trumpy Irontoe was bothering his brother. I'm going to follow Trumpy, so we'll be right back. Okay, Trumpy has started to move. And it looks like he's headed out here to where Guard Baron's brother is, Faren the fisherman. So let's listen in on this conversation. Okay. Trumpy just kicked something into the water there. Not saying anything. Oh, here we go. Fran says, "My Tacklebox, you know I can't swim, you rotten dwarf." And Trumpy says, "You better start learning, Skippy." And Faren says, "My name is not Skippy." I'm going to hail Faren. He says, "Hi there, I'm just out here fishing. Since I can't find a job, I hope this bait I just bought catches me a big old fish." Click on bait. It says, "I use Captain Rohan's secret recipe, Super Magic Catch-A-Lot brand bait. I bought my pole from Sneed's up by the North Pond." And then Guard Baron shows up and asks, "How are they biting, little brother?" And Faren says, "Oh, hi, Baron. Not too good so far. That dwarf keeps bothering me, too." And Guard Baron says, "Don't you worry about him. I will take care of Tumpy Irontoe once and for all." Excuse me, Trumpy. I highlighted Guard Baron and clicked on the link there, and it says, that dwarf Trumpy who Korshin here thinks is a friend of Commander Bale's keeps pestering my poor brother Faren. I've had just about enough of him and his kind. And when I clicked on his kind, it says, thieves, drunks, and murderers. Decent folk just don't have a chance anymore. Now, Trumpy is taken off, and he's probably going to head back to the bar. Anyway, this quest, what this quest does is introduces you to the skill of fishing by telling you where you can buy some bait and where you can buy a fishing pole. And then it gets you into the factions of Commander Bale, and who's actually part of the corrupt, he's head of the corrupt guards. And his brother is the king of Qeynos. And so they're opposite factions. And this is dealt with in other quests. Some of them I've even described before and made videos of. And, back when in the early days of the game, it mattered. In the modern game, not so much. But anyway, let's continue on with the basic quest I wanted to show you. Was that Trumpy kicked Faren's Tacklebox into the water. And since Faren can't swim, it's up to us to get the Tacklebox. So all you have to do is just jump into the water, dive down. Hey, look at that. Right there is this Tacklebox. So click on it, drop it in your inventory, and you can look around here in the water. Remember, this is an 18-year-old game, so the graphics weren't very detailed. Right down here is a hole, and you can get into the Qeynos aqueducts using that hole. But anyway, before we drown, and go ahead and get up on the land. And we'll go back over here to Faren. And we'll hand him his Tacklebox. Okay. We were at 38% on a level 2, and now I'm at 39%. So you get very little experience. Very little. But let's look at the other things we get. We get a bunch of faction here. Guards of Qeynos went up by 10. Antonius Bale, which is the king, went up by 1. Corrupt Qeynos Guards went down by 1. Circle of Unseen Hands, which is actually the rogue faction, went down by 2. And Merchants of Qeynos went up by 1. And it says we got 1 silver and 5 copper from Faren. I've done this quest in the past several times, and it's different amounts of money. That sounds like the high end. Normally I would get like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 copper. Not very much. Anyway, he gave us a tunic. Hurrieta's tunic. And as part of the kind of the soap opera that is Qeynos, you have to know about the fire prides and the iron forges. which are the two separate families that are blacksmiths. And the fire prides, I believe, were the, what would you say, the evil. And if you take Hurrieta's Tunic, which is lore and no trade, it's for this quest, we need to find the fire prides. And aha, he's right over here, actually. If you go to the entrance to where the arena is and the bank, it's right here. Fire prides. So let's go on in, and there he is. So let's hail him. And he talks about he's a great smith, and he learned from the finest dwarven smiths, and that he's branching out and crafting other items soon. So let's click on that. And he says, hate to have the good people of Qeynos continue purchasing inferior weapons from that so-called blacksmith at Ironforge Estates. So you have to kind of read into the story that Ton Firepride is an ally with the dwarves, and because Trumpy is a dwarf, you can kind of see the connection. And so if we take Hurrieta's bloody dress, Hurrieta refers to I believe Hurrieta Ironforge, his enemy. When we give that to him, he gives it back. I'm now at 47%, so that's significant experience for a level 2, for a very low level character. And then we get some more faction hits here. And Corrupt Qeynos Guards goes up by 20. So this is kind of a balancing series of quests where you gain with the first one, you lose with the second one, and it's not necessarily a zero sum, but it does kind of balance out things. So -3 with Guards of Qeynos, 3 with Cain Bale, who is Commander Bale, the king's brother, and Circle of Unseen Hands went back up by 2. And Bloodsavers went up by 3. And, of course, the Bloodsavers are the Necromancer and Shadow Knights that are located. Their guild is located in the Qeynos Aqueducts. And then he gives you some money, 2 copper, 6 silver, and 1 gold. And, again, that fluctuates sometimes depending on your turn-in. Anyway, let's see what he gives back. He actually gives you back Hurrieta's bloody dress. Now, from this point, you're supposed to take the dress into the Qeynos Aqueducts and do a turn in there, and then randomly, of course, you'll get experience, faction, and some money, but occasionally you would get a rat skull ring. And if you take that ring and go to the good clerics and paladins guild in North Qeynos, then you would receive more positive faction and money and such. So again, it's kind of a balancing quest. You can do, like I say, 4 different turn-ins for the quest chain, and they all kind of balance each other out. So anyway, it's a very easy quest. I figured I'd give you a little bit of the backstory to it also. You don't have to do all of it. Like you can do just like I did. Find the toolbox, Tacklebox, and turn it in, and do the dress turn in, and get some easy money and EXP and some easy faction. So later on, high levels, if you're doing your epic quests and other things like that, you may need to build up some faction with several of these groups that are involved in these 4 quests. And so now you've seen an easy way to raise them very quickly in some cases. For example, with the corrupt Qeynos guards going up by 20, you really wouldn't have to do a lot of turn-ins to advance to a level that they would accept you and perhaps give you additional quests. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you like, or leave a comment if you have any other questions about this quest or others. Let me know.